Kalen DeBoer described Jalen Milroe as special in so many different ways, and we're going to talk about why. Michael Carroll, the big offensive lineman and the legacy for Penn State, is really interested in Alabama. Could we pluck him away from the team that he's been watching his entire life? And Alabama basketball playing Creighton next year in Tuscaloosa. It's going to be a big game. We're going to talk about all that right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, and let's get this thing started right here, right now. Oh, yeah. And roll Tide. There he is, big, sexy Elmo, Mr. Brett Elmore. Never know where he might pop up. Never know where this guy might show up and hang out with you. At Brett Elmore Show, I'm at Broadcaster Mick. Roll Tide, everybody.
Roll Tide, Mr. Mick. How are you today?
Good, man. Good. I want to ask you about your appearance in the comment section on the Smook Show later, but let's just talk some sports right now. Let's talk some sports. And let's get right into this. Bussin' with the Boys, which is a really cool show that they do on Barstool, which is a killer channel. Sure. Had Kalen DeBoer on there, and he was talking about Jalen Milroe. And, dude, he said so many good things about Milroe, talking about how special he was. Basically that he has a heart of gold and he wants it so badly personally for the program. How responsible he is as Alabama's quarterback. What he does for other people. And look, man, I know it was just one mullet toss, but I connected with him. If you can imagine the round table with Ryan Anderson and Jake Coker and me and Jalen Milroe, is so much fun. Like the four of us just kind of hanging out. And you guys know I've liked him since the beginning. I just heard about his work ethic from some of my sources, right? And I mean that. Like I heard that the guy has a great work ethic before really it was reported on. But he's a good person when you meet him too. So does not surprise me that Kalen DeBoer loves this guy. And he was down in Orange Beach to do an NIL visit. I mean, it wasn't like he was there to hang out.
Right. Yeah. It was basically there working, but
really he was. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fun way to work, but still, he was there. And no, I mean, Mick, you can tell just by, watching some of the interviews and just the way he carries himself, really, that the guy is a genuinely good guy. I mean, he was moved to tears when his best friend was drafted the other night. Because he was legitimately so happy for him. The things that DeBoer said, just not only about his personality, his work ethic, it just reflects what kind of guy that, he is. That's high kudos, but the guy's also a fantastic football player.
Yeah.
And he's, the number one QB, finishing up with 2,700 yards last year and 23 touchdowns. He got better as the season went along. I saw that and I know that Coach DeBoer has already made a very big connection with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not hard to. And look, don't get me wrong here. Ty Simpson's had a fantastic spring.
Sure.
And from what I heard, he was the best quarterback during spring, right? But it's different when you're in the game. This is a guy that got it done. He's going to be one of the contenders for the Heisman Trophy. But it's great to have that competition moving forward, and you want that because it's going to make everyone better. Now, one thing that Milroe was not good at, and we've got to be honest about this, Brett, and I know that it's going to kind of upset some people, but he's terrible at throwing mullet. And he got destroyed in the mullet toss by Jake Coker and me and Ryan Anderson and Malachi Moore. So when it comes to throwing fish, that's just not his thing. But I'm not going to hold that against him. moving forward.
I don't blame you, Mick. I would definitely. I don't think we've heard this story before.
Well, look at that. No, and it's something that I don't want to bring up ever again until tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look at that. That 49.7. They didn't even break 100. The two guys on the team. And Ryan and I were kind of pushing Coker for that top spot. And if we had 2 out of 3 chances, I mean, I know he's a strong arm quarterback and all that stuff. We'd have beat him. I think
I heard that you had a little slippage there of the mullet, and that kind of is kind of what broke that up for you.
Kind of like off the side of my hand. But anyway, look, I'm not going to hold that against him. Now, I will tell you this. I agree with DeBoer that Jalen Milroe special, and right now the quarterback situation at Alabama has continued to just prosper, man. I mean, like you go from one guy to the next, to the next, to the next. I'm curious to see what Milroe is able to do in this system with these guys that are so offensively minded. And honestly, we might need a lot of points if we don't do something at cornerback, which we're going to talk about tomorrow. And I'm telling you guys right here, you're not going to want to miss tomorrow because we got a special guest that's going to be on here to talk about cornerback.
Okay, that's coming up tomorrow. So we've got that settled. And he's
Did anybody ever wink at you like that? Like,
we got a real big surprise for you tomorrow.
That's somebody coming. And anyway, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. That's why we're not getting into it right now. We're going to give you a preview of that tomorrow. But
yeah, you were talking about Simpson. Look, God forbid anything happen to Milroe during the season. I'm comfortable with either one of the guys. I mean, really. I mean, either one of them I think could lead us on any given Saturday. So I'm comfortable with both guys, and we'll see what happens when we tee that baby up. We're getting close, man. We're getting closer and closer.
I know.
I mean, I've got a countdown that is on my computer, and we're like, we're 120 days away.
The funny thing is you and I spend a lot of time getting ready for the broadcast, the radio broadcast, the tailgate show, like which this whole thing started with the tailgate show. And it's like, it's far away, but it's not that far away. It's going to be here that fast, and we're going to be on it for you guys covering it. It's going to be a blast. We got a lot of surprises before now and the start of football season on the show. So just hang with us and we'll do that for you. Now, let's get into some recruiting. This guy, I find this guy intriguing, man. Michael Carroll, 6'6" offensive lineman. He's coming back again. He was at the 8A game. He came in March. Before that, he's a legacy to Penn State, but he is finding a connection right now with Chris Kapilovic, the coach of the offensive line. And Kapilovic has connected with him. He's connected with Kapilovic, and I don't know, man. This could be something here, man. And you can't follow your parents where they went. You got to go where you feel comfortable. And I just think that this guy in Tuscaloosa, he's just finding that Tuscaloosa thing that we all love.
That Tuscaloosa vibe, also known as a championship vibe.
Yeah, true too.
Yeah, interior lineman. You mentioned 6'6", 300. A big old. They call him Big Mike.
Big Mike
for a reason. He plays for Central Buck East in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Obviously, yeah. I mean, Penn State's going to be a front runner for this guy.
They still are, but their percentages are going down.
Right. Yeah. Michigan is up there, and so is Alabama. But you're absolutely right. We've talked about. A lot of these players, we talk about their lineage and everything. And, this guy, his dad, Michael Carroll Sr., played football at Penn State. And his mom was a Hall of Fame basketball player at Michigan State.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, I mean, pretty athletic family. And he's apparently very hardworking, and he loves football. Seems like a very smart athlete. So we'll see. But I'm intrigued too because, like you mentioned, he came to A-Day and something has really piqued his interest, and he wants to make a return visit and kind of get another feel for Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, and that's exciting, man. I mean, I'm with you on that. Like, it's like the opportunity to play for the coach that you feel comfortable with at the program you want to be at matters. And so
Right.
I'm all about that for him.
Yeah, and I know it's probably hard, when you have a dad that played for Penn State and all that. But I'm sure with the parents that he has, both being former athletes, one at Penn State, one at Michigan State, I'm sure that I'm willing to bet they would probably tell him, you go to where you want to go and make your legacy.
Yeah, right.
And, I just feel that way, but I know there's probably a special place in his heart for Penn State. You couldn't blame him.
But it's not the same Penn State that it used to be. I mean, they haven't been a real championship contender for a long time. It's not like when Joe Pa was there. It's just different now. I like Coach Franklin a lot, but they're an also ran. They're like always fourth in their conference, third in their conference. They're never above Michigan and Ohio State, and honestly, they're not even close. Like Alabama is still. They won a championship last year. That you get a ring when you win the SEC. It's still a damn big deal. Sorry, it just is. So Saban walked out, left this program in great shape. The thing I love about DeBoer is the guy is frothing at the mouth to be successful. He wants to win, and I love that. Not that Saban never didn't not want to win either, but this guy is so motivated after the way that things turned out in the national championship game. So he's got a great staff around him. It's going to be exciting to see what happens, and honestly, I'm pretty fired up about what Michael Carroll could be, and who knows? I mean, he could come to Tuscaloosa, and you're not stuck in these contracts. If you come and you don't like it, you can go somewhere else. You can go to Penn State, but you don't want to miss an opportunity to do something special. And it feels like that this program's going to do something special. Alabama basketball right now, Brett, is to me really, really exciting, and we keep waiting on what's going to happen with the last couple roster spots. Nate Oates, I think, is just amazing. Love him, what he's doing. And I love the fact that they went out last year and they scheduled a NBA type of college schedule. It wasn't like the women's team that doesn't play anybody and hides and basically just tries to. And I say this, but it's true. They just run up their schedule and we got 24 wins, but you didn't beat anybody. Mm-hmm. These guys went and played at Creighton. They played Gonzaga. When we got to the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight, they had played like more than half of the field in the last 2 years. North Carolina, they'd already beaten North Carolina the year before. They'd already played Arizona. They'd done this. Yeah, I love that about Nate Oates. Yeah. And now we got Creighton coming to Tuscaloosa, and I know that everybody feels exactly like I feel, that we can't wait to make that shitty gym that Alabama plays in a tough place to play.
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, guys. It's terrible.
Yeah. Of course, we played in Omaha last year against Creighton. And now they'll make the return trip. And it's been announced that the Blue Jays will come into town on December the 14th. That's a Saturday night in Tuscaloosa, the SEC versus the Big East. And you're right. I mean, everyone's excited about Alabama basketball. I've never seen it so fever pitch like this before.
Dude, I'm so into it, man.
I am too. I mean, I love it. I'm a big basketball fan. And
you were. Yeah, you've always been.
Yeah, and I just I am so excited about this. Coach Oates, what he's doing, and the roster that he's building this year. We're going to be stacked when it's all said and done with. And there's no telling what kind of run we're going to make next year. But like I say, anytime you're talking basketball in May, you're doing something right.
Yeah, and so we got that. We're keeping an eye on, on the roster. There's a couple centers that are out there. Maybe we'll get them both. Jaron Stevenson declaring for the NBA. He can come back. We'll find out if that happens. But I know they got to the Final Four. I think the roster is going to be a better roster next year. I don't know how far they're going to go, but I'm looking forward to when Sears officially says he's coming back, which I think is going to happen too. So all of that lining up for Alabama basketball. All right, final thing was yesterday we talked about Coach Smook and Kyle Henderson, right? Mm-hmm. And it was funny that we're just having fun over here, man. Like, it's not personal at all. It was just to us. We just thought it was funny. And, and we just kind of had a lighthearted take on it. And then people started messaging me. They're like, hey, Coach Smook is watching your show and he's doing a review on it. Right. And so he reviewed us reviewing him, which is so funny that we're kind of in that business, Yeah. And I thought he did a good job with the review. He probably was like, man, these guys are, he probably thought we were going to come at him from, a different spot than we did.
Right, yeah.
Now I wish Kyle would do it, man. Come on, Kyle, get us. But honestly, when I say this, I do love Kyle. He's been, a friend of mine for a long time. Tony Sukalis. And honestly, I even kind of have enjoyed the coach. And you, he kind of got you imitated him, and he was like a little irritated. And then you guys bonded, and we're going to have him on the show too soon.
Yeah, I mean, no,
if he wants to do it, come on, man. We'll bring you on.
I told him he's more than welcome,
and always welcome. All those guys are.
I know.
You slid in on the DMs, didn't you?
I got a message from a friend of mine saying, "Hey, Smook's talking about you guys on his live thing." I was like, "Well," and then you had mentioned it to me, and so I get a chance to get in front of a computer when I got done with the morning show and sat down and watched a little bit of it. And anyway, I came in at the tail end of his live, and they were still talking about us toward the end, and some people, everybody loves you, Mick, but they're about 50-50 on me.
Hold on a second, man. Hold on. Let me say about you. This guy right here is the funniest dude I know. I'm telling you, this guy is. I honestly haven't had a friend like Brett in a long time, man. So you guys got to like Brett too. He is a genuinely funny dude who is the most lighthearted guy out there. So if you guys are kind of up in the air on Big Sexy Elmo, I'm gonna play this. I'm playing this one more time. I'm gonna play your intro. I got to do this right now. Brett, just hold your thought. This is for the coach. Can I do this for the coach?
You can do it for the coach.
They call him Big Sexy. Coming at you from the Walker County. Jasper is his hometown. He's known for giving free rundowns. Oh, Big Sexy. Throwing out those Alabama thoughts. Sneaking out your mom's window without getting caught. Nick gives you the XPs, but Big Elmo is here to please. Big Sexy Elmo on the Bama Tailgate Show.
West, Jasper, 7, killing it on the intro. There you go. I just wanted to play that for everybody. Big Sexy Elmo.
That may be new to the show, because a lot of people, still weren't. They weren't even familiar with the show. Some of them. So, but no, I mean, I do have a neck. It's there. I mean, it's there. I just don't. I don't show it too much.
You just keep it hidden because you don't have to show that.
No. If you had a muscular frame like this, everybody, you wouldn't have no damn neck either. Anyway. I ended up talking with Coach Spook after his live show, and I think we may be boys now.
Hey, when you said you wanted to be on the Coach Smook network, if I fired you, that was a
Right? Yeah. And he said, "Not with a neck like that." And I thought, okay, all right, you fixed to bring some heat, all right. But no, we're cool. We're cool. It's all
the funny thing is, like, when you do like a live reaction like that, you get somebody's genuine thoughts.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. This has been but it really has been a funny 2 days.
But the funny thing was we were getting good comments and a few bad ones toward me a little bit. But and I look, I can take it, okay?
But this is, you got to admit though, that you're just kind of breaking in on this, like, kind of this element of things. People know you from like doing the morning show, and they, you got a comedy show you do, and and stuff like that.
I have not. This has been the first soiree. I've been in the radio business for like 26 years now, so this is my first endeavor into this. But anyway, the comments, I slid into that live comment section and it said, "What's going on in here?" And then it was like everybody loved me. I don't know what it was.
You won everybody over. Well, they should love you, bro. You're a great dude. You're funny. and
but no, I really enjoyed talking with and you haven't had a chance to talk to him either, but I enjoyed chatting with him. We talked for about 15 minutes, and I like we said last night, wish both of them the best of luck.
Yeah, look, man. I mean, Kyle's going to be fine. Kyle's kind of like a genius with all this stuff, and and then obviously, like, Smook's got kind of his thing, man. He's kind of got a fiery type personality, and and he knows Alabama football too, and the only way you're going to do this is if you go do it, So best of luck to everybody involved, and I'm glad that he kind of got the fact that we're going to talk about it, man. If the thing about it is, like, if I don't like you, you're going to know. And I like most people. There's a couple people that have had some videos come out that haven't been too positive, but that's like the rare percentage. I mean, most people were just trying to do their thing, and and we're trying to do ours too. There's a big enough pie with Alabama where you got the people that are kind of into what you're doing, and then and just want more content. Nobody's going to be on 24 hours a day doing this, so I think there's enough for everybody there. So anyway, guys, I want to tell you that we're brought to you by Pearl River Resort. They got the Timeout Sports Lounge. They've got the Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. They have in the sports lounge is a Vegas style sports book. You can go there and gamble. It's in Philadelphia, Mississippi, an hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 hours from Birmingham and surrounding areas. It's really not far from anywhere. July 3rd and 4th, that is like the big celebration. We're going to be there for Boys to Men. I love Boys to Men. I am telling you, I'm so fired up about being there for that, because I've always loved those guys. But also Big and Rich are there, Gretchen Wilson, Brian McKnight. They're having a whole bunch of acts as they celebrate 30 years of existence. And Golden Moon, Silver Star, fantastic. And you guys need to check it out. And then also this guy right here, Big Sexy Elmo. Well, on right now. You can turn him on probably right now. 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every day. Morning. He's on the mornings.
Yeah, that's right. I'm on the mornings, 6 till 10. And so join me, WJLX 1015. Here on this beautiful May 3rd. It's Greg Gumbel's birthday.
Nice.
He's 78 today.
Greg or Brian? Greg or Brian? Which one? Which one did you pick? Greg, you pick Greg over Brian? The Gumbel brothers? Okay.
Yeah, I'd probably go with Greg.
All
right. Frankie Valli. I did not know. Of course, he's famous for being with the Four Seasons for a long, a band from many, many moons ago. But I didn't know he was on The Sopranos.
I didn't either.
He's 90 today, and I'm thinking back to the Sopranos, and I don't know who he played.
I don't know. I have to look that up. Google machine.
Yeah, that Google machine will have to go. And also a very special day today. It is a little baseball for you, Mick. 1936, Joe DiMaggio played his first major league game.
Man, the best story of Joe DiMaggio is when the one that Pete Rose talks about.
Yeah.
When they went on the USO tour and they were in Vietnam and they had to like pour the water, like basically they had to put the water in the buckets for the showers.
Yeah.
You know this story?
I don't go elaborate.
Well, Pete said that Joe DiMaggio was a penis with a man attached to it. All right, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it today.
And it's no pants day to do. So there you go. Bye, everybody.
That's what Pete Rose said, the hit king. All right, guys, roll Tide.